I'm Rebecca with Cherish Children Ministries. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the rooting reflex. I do classes on all of this, so if you're interested in getting your struggling learner thriving today, just go ahead and sign up for that, and I will see you there. Let's get results. I'm going to teach you how to assess if the reflex is still present, and then also give you an exercise that you can use so that you can help your child retain the reflex. So the first primitive reflex that a baby actually adapts at birth is called the rooting reflex or the sucking reflex, which is what the baby needs for feeding. Now, when the skin around the baby's mouth is stimulated by touch, then the baby initiates the rooting reflex. The baby will actually open his mouth and turn toward the stimulus. The sucking reflex will allow the baby to latch onto the breast and feed. Now, the rooting reflex is very important in helping an infant locate the food and breastfeed. It develops during pregnancy and it actually continues with the baby for about 4 months. So you will actually notice the rooting reflex if you are to brush your finger down one side of the mouth. You can do this with a Q-tip or a pencil if the child is older. You're going to brush your finger down one side of the mouth. The baby will turn toward the stroke and open the mouth. Now, this is normal, but it actually should disappear or integrate by the time the baby is about 4 months old. If it's not properly integrated, it can actually contribute to problems in speech, writing, eating disorders, and thyroid issues. So we want to be sure to do the retained rooting reflex test with your child. Children with eating disorders aggravated by a retained rooting reflex actually have a constant urge to have something in their mouths, yet they're often sensitive to textures. Now, these ones end up being the ones that are always chewing on something like plastic, or maybe they drool and they struggle to form their words properly. The retained rooting reflex can actually cause the tongue to lie too far forward in the mouth, and this can cause a difficulty when swallowing or perhaps chewing their food. Some symptoms of the retained rooting reflex are when the tongue lies too far forward, hypersensitive around the mouth. These kids have difficulty with textures and solid foods. They're thumb suckers. They have speech and articulation issues. They have difficulty swallowing and chewing. They have hormone imbalances. They have thyroid issues and autoimmune tendencies. They have dexterity issues whenever they're talking. Even if they don't display any of these symptoms, it's still a really good idea to go ahead and do a quick assessment on them, because there may be other functions that are affected by it that are still unknown. So in order to test the rooting reflex, what you're going to do is you're actually going to stroke down one side of the child's mouth from the nose to the chin, like this. And you're going to do this 3 times, moving a little farther out each time, and you're going to repeat it on the other side of the mouth. You'll be looking to see if their mouth, if they twitch on either side. Now, if it does twitch, then it most likely means that the reflex is still present, and we need to incorporate some exercises to get the reflex retained. So in this case, the exercise is similar to the test. You are simply going to stroke the child's face until the reflex stops, which usually takes about 5 to 6 times in a row. You will do this at least twice a day until you can no longer see the reflex. Chewing gum can also be really helpful to inhibit this reflex. So it's a great time to let your child chew some gum. A few things to remember about this. The exercises need to be repeated 5 to 10 times until the reflex is retained. Frequency is actually more important than intensity. So I like to have a chart on my refrigerator for my own kids, because I just like to know that I've done something every day. Instead of going really hard once a week, I like to do a little something every day, even if it's not as intense. Movement needs to be slow and purposeful, and you need to have a proper mindset. It's really important. If the child is cranky or irritable, just don't do it that day. Stay motivated, stay positive, give it time, and try again the next day. So if you're interested in more information in all of this and the program, you can click the link below and get all the information that you need for that. I hope that you find it helpful. So thanks for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and share it with your friends. Maybe they can use it as well. Thank you for watching.